Okay.
We're recording. All right.
All right. Well, welcome everybody to our Monday Night Team Call post-conference 2016. Woo! We were presented big. It was awesome.
We were incredible.
Stuff all over conference. It was so cool. And I just want to give a shout out to everybody that was up on stage and everybody that was not, but was there. And we did have promotions that were not eligible to walk, but hey, it was so cool. It was like, honestly, I feel like I got married this weekend. Like that's how it feels like. It was like such a big, like celebratory, awesome, round the clock, nonstop kind of a deal that I'm still like high coming down off the whole deal, So Thank you for everybody for celebrating in that with us and the people who were at home too. It was just, it's just priceless. It's a moment that I wish on all of you because, it's just amazing. So thank you. And, I wanted to kick it off with, I have two things to share, and then I'm actually going to rotate it through our leaders, and they're all going to contribute and share with you some of the things that they took away from this particular conference so that you guys can glean from them. There was a lot of things that I had to do, meetings and ceremonies and things that I couldn't be there for the actual training, so I'm learning along with you on some of the content pieces this particular conference. So the first thing I want to say is that my gift to you all as a team is we have a new team logo. Yeah. So, which not many people know about, but I've been working behind the scenes with Darla Vietti, who's one of our loyal customers and awesome friends of mine. And she designed for Quicksilver and Roxy and all sorts of awesome companies out here in her heyday. And she is... she gave us we told her what we wanted and she kind of worked on it. So I put together a little flyer and I'm going to go to screen share and see if I can show you guys one of my desktop really quick. Oh, here it is. Here we go. Our little honeybee.
Oh, that is adorable. I love the heart face.
So let me explain to you guys what that represents. It was just, we wanted to do, and I ran this back. Danielle and I have been talking about this for, I don't know, Danielle, like 6 months at least.
Yeah, long time.
And sketching back and forth, and we had to redo it a couple times, but we wanted it to, instead of yellow and black, we wanted our colors to be cool. So we made them gold and black. And the heart is meant to represent that we're leading with a heart of gold. So as a team, that's what's driving us all. Nice. So I hope that's, clear and awesome. And I know that we have taken to heart some of the feedback that we got from Dylan, actually. He was like, it's hard for me to get behind a whole like honeybee thing because it seems so feminine. So we are going to come out with a male version of this, which will be the stingers. So it's the honeybees and the stingers, and that's going to be the men and the women of our team that we lead with. But we're contagious, you guys. I'm seeing honeybees everywhere. There's like everybody went like.
I have to make a side comment.
Yeah.
As you say, we're contagious. When I was on the shuttle bus going back to the airport, leaving St. Louis, I stopped at a couple of the hotels to pick people up, and I chatted with an older couple who they were NMDs, long time in the company. When they asked, of course, who's your upline, who's your team, and I just, I mentioned the honeybees, and then they said, oh, yeah, we heard the honeybees at conference. That's right. We made a presence, guys. We made our presence known.
We made a mark. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. So good. And, and it's cool because then I saw Lisa posted something on Facebook or liked something, and then it cued me into it. So I posted that. And it's funny sometimes how like things come in waves, but you'll see it everywhere now. It's pretty awesome. But anyway, without wasting too much time on this, I wanted to show, just this afternoon, I kind of got, the reason I found Danielle, okay, and like we got connected and she came onto the team was for giving away a shake sample to try, okay, 2 years ago now. So I wanted to do something to shake things up as we head into these big months that we're about to build. And I thought this would be kind of fun. And this time I wanted to put a little bit of teeth into it. So I have this little October giveaway, and Take Healthy Back is our new slogan. So it's like the whole mission that we're on, and we're going to be really promoting that lately. So you'll see, they'll talk about that when they do the recap. But it's a really cool way to get people engaged. And so especially coming off a conference when there's tons of pictures and energy and excitement all around this, people are curious right now. So I'm going to post this tomorrow. I will post the image on our Facebook page, and you guys can if you click on it and save it and download it to your phone, then you can upload it to your own post. You can't share it from there, but if you save it and you want to do this yourself, I put the first 50 to give like a sense that there are so many people that are interested, to give them a big number, and also to kind of just put it out there that it's, we're going to work with the first ones that come to us, right? So I think if all of us are blanketing Facebook with this, and what it looks like, you guys, is simply, we give them an option of something to try. And what we want them to do is comment below, so that the more comments and likes happen, right, the more it'll pop up to the top in our feed, in the news feed. Second, what we'll do then is we'll private message them to get their address and ask them a few questions. And what we want to do is just ask them, so tell me what you're curious about. Tell me, why this particular product would you like to try? And then if they have any goals or things that they want to accomplish, that they're curious, that they're like health goals, they might be able to tell you that then. And then the third thing that we're going to do is hop and put them on a Zoom call. So this is going to give us an opportunity for follow-up, because we know that the multiple touches, as we touch them more frequently, then it's 6 to 7 exposures typically before somebody signs up. The first one is the Facebook post. The second one is the interaction on the private message. And then the third one would be getting them onto a call. So we'll do a Zoom call, and I'll set that up for next week with a presentation on the product and the company. And then getting them to come on there and we want to ask for their participation and feedback on, so what did you think about? They're not going to come on to that call if they weren't happy with the product. So if they come on, they're just like 70% ready to say yes anyway. But I think it's just a good way to jumpstart, as we go on. So if you guys want to use it, you're welcome to. If you don't want to use it, no problem. But that is my gift to you. And
did that say EST and not PST? 8 p.m. Or am I wrong?
It's 5 p.m. Pacific, which would be 8 p.m. your time,
or 8
p.m. Pacific here, because a lot of times we box people out on the West Coast because it's dinner time and they're coming home and stuff.
Okay.
So I just wanted to give them that. Really, the 5 p.m. is more for the East Coasters, and the 8 p.m. is more for the West Coasters.
All right, great. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good question though. All right, stop share. Here we go. All right, and with that, the last thing I wanted to say was just everybody, if you could this week, we're not going to have a call next week because it's Halloween and stuff. And that's just a big deal when it comes to kids. So we'll take off. But missiondrivenmodel.info has been completely updated. I had some time with Julie Herbst. And if you go on there on your own time, really play around. She did an excellent job. Like, she's just always one step ahead of the game. We were coming together with she revamped it, Danielle. It's so good and clean that we don't even have to do anything. So it's really nice when tools are set up that we can utilize and not have to reinvent the wheel. So I encourage you guys all to get on there this time and really play around. You'll find some cool stuff, okay? And then the other thing she does, everything she's doing is right in line with what we teach, which is get your 2 events started in your first 30 days. It's right there on the startup sheet. It's pretty cool. And sharing your story. I like it too. It's like very clean this time, so you'll like that. And the first person I want to turn this over to is Gina, because we have some major Tower Garden updates I'd like her to share with us. Oh, hey, Ange. Ooh, welcome. I haven't seen you in a while. She's like, what are you doing to me? All right. Gina, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Take it over, my friend.
Okay. So you guys will have to excuse me. Conference is always so exciting. And, I'm like, talk. So my voice is like gone. So anyway, we have some exciting news on the Tower Garden front. Juice Plus and Future Growing have merged. So there's some more upcoming news on that in the future conference. But for right now, we have been allowed as reps to start selling what is called the community garden. And it's really super exciting. It's 12 Tower Gardens, and they are 7 pots high, so that's 336 plants that they can grow. The price is $6,000, and you get 600 RP. I have RP. Yeah. That's what I have written down. 4,050 PVC, and then it's on a 12-month term, which is $500 a month. So these towers aren't going to be or able to be ordered right off your site right now. I think you have to go through corporate to order them, because we have a new division called the Tower Farm division that I am part of, and not very many people know about the division. The only reason that you guys know is because you're on my team. And so what they're doing is they're taking, the orders of a 12-tower community garden, and they're looking at them individually, and then they'll assess the intent that is going to be applied to those 12-tower gardens. For example, if you have a rep that wants to sell a school 12-tower gardens, and they're going to have, a bunch of 8th graders work on those tower gardens, and 4 8th graders will be assigned to each tower garden, and they're going to work on those tower gardens individually, fill them up individually, measure the nutrients and all that whatnot, then that would fall along the lines of a community garden, and would not have to be considered commercial. It would not be needing the help of the new Tower Farm division ACR representative, which is what I am. So if you, in the same concept, if you had 12 tower gardens, let's say in a restaurant that wanted them to be more of a food production line, and they had to have a dosing system that would automatically refill those tower gardens with nutrients and water, then that would be a commercial sale. But the caveat is, and the more an exciting thing is, that even if your order turns into a commercial farm and is turned over to an ACR to help that person become a farmer, you as a representative still get an amazing 10% commission off of that sale. So it equals out whether you would have gotten, the amount of money you would have gotten as a community garden versus, a tower farm at that point. So I know that maybe muddled a bit, but I think
that's good, Gina, that they, it just to know that you guys, that they're allowing us into this space that we weren't allowed into before, so we can expand on it. And I think to start, the best thing to do probably, Gina, is if they find an opportunity to come to you and help them qualify it, which way it should go, and then take it from there, but just understanding that you don't have to say no to things. You don't have to be intimidated if you find an opportunity that feels bigger than maybe your skill set can handle right now. Don't shy away from it. Just lean into it and say, okay, come to myself and to Gina and say, okay, we've got this. I don't know where to go with this from here. What do we do? But it is a really awesome opportunity. What they were finding is that places like this that wanted to do food production, and we have one of my inactive reps, she called me and said she's got this gal who wants to grow farm food to bring to the farmer's market. That's like a passion of hers. And then like another person wanted to grow food to give to the homeless. And so, that they have time and it's like a hobby to them, but that's food production. So that would be something that we would go to Gina for. See, and it might be sized, for whatever reason, but I think that the qualifying piece is a little muddy. Yeah. But like for right now, just know that, if it's a 12 tower opportunity, she can help you qualify it. Maybe you take it and you sell it, and then you'll have to do the setup and get all that stuff ready. If it falls into her side of things, she takes on the support piece from that and gets it set up appropriately, and then can also support with seedlings on both sides. So either way, Gina's your girl. So I wanted her to give you her contact, and maybe the way to do it, Gina, is just to post it on the Honeybees site. Yeah. And then that way they can go there. And I just put it in the comments underneath, because I just put the slides up from the NMD meeting that we got on the updates. Okay. So you can see those visually. But it's pretty cool stuff. Okay. And it's like a $1,500 payout for those 12, the community tower gardens, if you're a sales coordinator above. That's a nice chunk of change. So pretty awesome. And it's $500 a month for the purchaser. So that's like for somebody who wants to do it, seriously, that's not a big deal. No, you cannot interrupt right now. Okay.
One of the other things that wasn't mentioned that was mentioned to us, which is really exciting, that if anybody that purchases a community garden automatically becomes a virtual franchise. So that is super exciting news. If you have somebody that, buys a community garden, they automatically qualify as a virtual franchise under your team.
Wow, I did not know that. That's very cool.
yeah. So there's a lot of exciting things with it, and we'll go into more detail, but I think it's so exciting that they took down that wall, because there was always that perceived wall of, what is commercial versus what is residential, future growing versus, Juice Plus. So now they've really, expanded that wall, and, they know they're still going to, people, maybe can grow one tower garden, but the idea of helping somebody else grow 12 is just, way too overwhelming. So that's why they created the authorized commercial representatives, such as myself, to help you guys do that. So it's going to be just an awesome bridging of the gap there. And I'm here for you guys, and I'll put my information on there for y'all.
Awesome. Thank you, Gina. All right. Let's move on, because I'm sorry, I took so much time starting this whole thing off. Rena, would you mind jumping in and sharing some of your thoughts? This is your first conference, and you got to walk the stage. That's a pretty cool experience together.
For sure. No, I mean, I'm so glad I went to conference. It was kind of everything and more I thought it would be. The education alone is really what I was looking for, and then the pluses on top of that was just really the networking and hearing everyone's story and experiences and sharing. That was kind of like the plus of all of it as well. But on the education front, both, the kind of the day one with the breakouts, but even day two, just hearing about what's going on with the company and what's coming in the next few months, that spoke a lot to me as well. Like just hearing what the company continues to do, the new things they're bringing, like, is really exciting. I love the new mission-driven model, .info. I think the site is amazing, so much cleaner, so much easier to work with, especially to get new reps started. I think it's really useful. But yeah, no, it was an amazing, I love that I was there. For sure.
Awesome. Now we need to get your whole team to come to Anaheim, because we're building big. It's going to be amazing. Thank you. All right. Is there, Chris Ann, can you jump in and share some of your notes, highlights, takeaways?
It's funny, like I was looking back at my notes of like what I wrote, and I really wrote down a lot of, and I don't know who, actually didn't write down who it was, but it was Thursday, one of the breakout sessions, but how when you talk to people, you say, because I have this a star next to it, this is what I am doing, this is why I am doing it, and I thought of you because, like a good way of bringing it up to somebody. And just how we went through all those stages about, really getting to know a person when you're trying to take care of them and what their concerns are as far as why they want to maybe take it, if there's something going on in their life.
Was that the Renee O'Neill training?
It may have been, because it was really great, because I wrote like so many notes on that.
Mm-hmm. Well, her big thing is, I think sometimes we get caught in terms of like going through the steps because they're the steps, not because of the person that we're addressing. But when you make it all about the customer and you make that follow-up about them, then it's meaningful, right? Then it's not just something you're doing on your to-do list. Then it's about, I talk to them about fibromyalgia or whatever, right? And, I went and found an article that would be helpful or useful for them. And so I'm going to follow up with them because it was in line with what that shows people that they're cared about and that you're thinking mostly. But I know she's falls in love with her customers. She's such an awesome gal.
Yeah, because I even have here how she must have said, like, how do you take care of you? Like asking them, like, what do you do? What's your nutritional program, just to get to know the person. And sometimes like maybe we don't really ask those questions and we really should,
Mm-hmm.
So that was like a lot of what I wrote. And I love listening to Jay Martin talk. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I love him. He's hysterical. He's just so down to earth. And I wrote notes on him, I think, here too. Like, just like how he said about, and I talked about this when we had lunch the other day, about finding a buddy and having fun and laughing, and you're not in this alone. We're all in this together. And I have something else starred here. I wanted to do something that matters. So he must have said that too. Like, we all want to do that. He was just great. How he tied in the whole thing with Bob Dylan and the music, for like certain situations was just, he's just.
We were serenaded by our president, everyone, who has a Southern accent. It was pretty special. That's awesome. Michelle, did you want to add something to that?
Yeah,
I talk like that, like he's so personable when he talks. Go ahead, Michelle. I know you were talking too.
No. You and I must have taken the same exact notes because I have the same quote you have.
Were you copying my papers?
But what I liked about hers was that she wrote that the action was the 4 C's: culture, conversation, campaign, and customer care.
Right.
And I actually posted 2 slides up on the Honeybees page. They're a little blurry, but best I could do. And one of
those, Michelle. What was it? Culture, conversation,
campaign, and customer care. And the first slide that I posted, it says creating a lifetime customer. And she pretty much just talked about getting a binder, getting a customer questionnaire, and doing it your own way, like Chris Ann said, and filling out, why why they're on Juice Plus, what attracted them to it. And then adding them to the customer pages, obviously, sending thank you cards. And then she goes in like a calendar, 10 days, 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days, like how to check in with them. And she even, the other slide that I posted is handling objections, which is my personal favorite. And I know my team asks me about this a lot. Like, number 1, the cost, how to answer that. So I posted that up on Honeybees too. Someone who never responds to your voicemails or your calls, how to respond to that. I need to ask my spouse, and then I can't make the event, how to respond to these specific things. And I liked those that she was talking about. And then her creating a campaign, she said, take your why and make it multiply, which I liked. And, using social media, events, family calls, 3-way calls, just having coffee with someone, having a conversation with someone, and then creating your own events, just making it yours, which, Ellie and Jenna talked about a lot. And she was just pretty much loving on all of her customers. That was my favorite.
I love it. Okay. Christine, was there anything else you wanted to add, or should I switch? Michelle, is there more that you want to jump in with?
No, that's good.
No, I just want to say that I'm sorry.
Go. No, it's good.
So this was the second conference that I've been to. And, even before I went to Phoenix, it was, you guys always were talking about conferences. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. But it is super exciting. And because now this time I was there for the full time, and I guess we had so many celebrations. Like we had celebrations before, but these were, someone that you actually know with the NMD screen behind them, and your family that we know is up there sitting in the front. It's just so exciting. Even when I walked across the stage and I got off, I'm like, oh my God, I'm shaking, like you said before, it was like your wedding. You get so excited about that stuff. And it was awesome that Chris Ann and Rena, we were there together doing it all at the same time.
Yeah.
It was.
That's awesome. There's an intangible about it. There's something they say it all the time, about the leaders in the room. It's like, lots of people in this business make $10,000 or more a month. Lots of people don't, but the ones that do are always in that room. And I don't know about you, but when I play sports with people who are better than me, I step up, I play better. Like if I golf with somebody who's a really good golfer, I tend to golf a lot better than if I play with somebody that's at my own level. It's the same kind of thing. Like if you run in circles that stretch you and help you get better, or just or challenge you to be better, then you extend up to that, right? So it's kind of a little bit of that, but at the same time, it's also the bigger vision, like Rena pointed to. I mean, how else are you going to meet the president of the company? Is seeing where this all came from. Like for me being behind the stage, like it was just amazing to me to see in the green room, like how much goes in to producing this conference for us. I mean, they must have spent it, but we were trying to guess a number, but way more than $1 million on this thing. I mean, just the Eltons alone was like, Paul was like, they had to spend like $100,000 on that. I was like, I'm guessing a lot more than that. There were like 1,000 people in the room. It was amazing. Like just the talent alone that they brought in had to be like 50,000 just right there. I mean, Danielle, you probably would have a good idea because of your background, but
Decorations,
the food was like top notch, Yeah. Open bar. No, they didn't even accept tips at the bar. I mean, it was crazy.
Marie.
Seriously. Yeah. Top shelf, everything. It was pretty spectacular. So they do pour into us. And I think, for $100 ticket or a free ticket, it's like, are you kidding me? Like what we get out of it is way more than like ever could have thought about. So thank you, Michelle, for that. I have Buffy written down next on this list. Do you want to unmute and share some of your takeaways? Are you still there? I think you're there. Yeah. Buff?
Hey, yeah, I'm here. Sorry about that.
Okay.
So honestly, it was Renee O'Neill's training. I definitely want to watch that again.
Mm-hmm.
And
good point. These are going to be on the virtual office, you guys, so you will get a chance to see them. So thank you, Buffy, for saying that.
Nice.
I want to just piggyback on what's already been said because it was truly impactful to me to see you on stage, Melissa. Was it just shifted something in my brain, and it was freaking awesome. And so it just and then having everybody there, and I'm not saying this to try to make anyone feel bad that was not there, but what I do want to do is just encourage those who were not able to make it this time to and if there is anything that I can do to help people get there, then I want to know what it is, because you truly do get to experience the big picture. Mm-hmm. Cannot put it into words, but what I can tell you is it is truly life-changing to see the big picture. So
start the jelly jar now. Seriously. I told Karen Jones that I made a little video about that. She was like, oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Like she was laughing at me. I go, if you had an Italian grandma, you would know what I'm talking about. Anything else, Beth? Any content or anything that you want to add? Was there anything that stuck out to you from the training perspective?
It just, a lot of it was, I can't pinpoint anything right now. I don't have my notes in front of me, but it really is when you make the decision to move your business forward, we really do have everything we need to do so. It's just a matter of making that decision to just go for it. And, just an illustration is if you're standing next to your buddy, Jay Martin said, find a buddy. So you're standing next to your buddy, and that could be your upline, it could be a sideline, whoever, and imagine yourself being locked arm in arm, and you're right next to each other, and then you just take, in unison, that first step. Both of you taking that right foot and moving it forward, but you're still locked arms, and then taking that next step, and just, we're not alone in this business. And as simple as this is, it was a big aha moment for me, because I truly like to do things by myself, and that's not what this is about. This is about doing it together. It's about supporting each other, encouraging each other, and really just, it's okay. Just take that first step and then take the next step. So.
And you know what, the other piece of advice on that, borrow a buddy until you can build one, if that makes any sense. Like I had lots of different buddies until Danielle showed up, and then, she kind of stepped up to the pace that I was running at, and we started running together, and that made it stronger, but borrow one. Like you can grab people sideline, upline, downline. I'd like to keep it in the team as much as possible, but lean on me, lean on your sponsor, like grab that person and go, it doesn't have to be like, you don't have to wait until that happens. I think that's a mixed message that we send a lot of times. And And the longer I've been in this, the more I see it. It's just about energy together, right? Like anytime you do anything, like do it with somebody, just grab somebody and have them there together, because we play off each other, you know, and we totally multiply in the room. So good point.
One more thing that I want to add, just to plant the seed for Anaheim. For those who are traveling, if you can, stay in the hotel that corporate's going to stay in and hang out at the bar. Because when you are around all of those people, and I mean, we're talking the big wigs in the company, the top earners and all of that stuff. And when you just get to hang out and have conversations and get to know them, there's just something that happens where it just, you know, I was intimidated in conferences in the past. I was like, oh my gosh. And like, you get starstruck, and I still get starstruck, but still it's like, you know what? These are people just like you and I. And you know what? They started in the same place we did. They just never gave up.
Totally.
Right.
Totally. Absolutely. And the more human you make them, then the more accessible all this feels, you know? Yeah. Really good point.
Yes.
Okay. Marie, can you add in what your takeaways, thoughts, feelings about the weekend?
Yeah. A lot of it's has already been stated. Like my top takeaway was about customer care. And I know, you know, we hear that all the time, that we're big into customer care. We need to take care of our customers. It's easier to keep a customer than get a customer. But the whole thing about, you know, creating a profile, learn why they ordered, what their expectations are, you know, what information are they most interested in, adding them to our Facebook group. The two things that I really liked were, tell them about live and online events and ask if they want to be on the invitation list. I liked that. I really liked that, because like that's something you can say right when they're ordering, and then it doesn't feel awkward later. Yeah. Or tell them that you'll be checking in monthly to make sure they are having the best customer experience. So they're expecting your call, so you don't feel like you're bothering them. That was very important to me. And about, you know, checking in the 30 days, 60 days, whatever, making sure they're getting into a routine. And, you know, just that you can send them appreciation texts or reminder texts, or even texts about products that they're not on yet. All of that was like, wow, okay, I need to remember to do this stuff. The handling objections, Michelle already went over that. That was big, about how to handle objections. Team events, team building and events with Jenna Rood and Ellie Shepley, like as far as the live events, 10 minutes on the product, 10 minutes on the business, and then share stories. That was important, because a lot of times, you know, I'm not used to doing my own events, and it's like, well, how do you do yours? How do you do yours? It's like, how much time do you spend? You know, it's like I struggle with that. So to hear somebody say, this is what we should do, it was like, that was good. The business building blitz over 24 hours. Wow. It's like, I love that.
Can you explain that? Because I didn't hear anything, and a lot of people haven't.
Yeah. So, well, they had an example, just an example of what it could look like over a 24-hour period. So starting on Friday and ending on Saturday, Friday lunch could be an educational wellness workshop at a cafe. Friday night could be an entrepreneur panel at a wine tasting venue or someone's home. Saturday morning, have a startup business training for new and existing team in a coffee shop. Saturday late morning, do an outdoor boot camp in a park with post-workout smoothie samples. And Saturday afternoon, do a one simple change event at a team member's home who has a tower garden. It's like, wow. And they're like, you don't have to create all these fancy flyers, which I totally get into that, because I love creating flyers, but I feel like you have to, you know, don't let that get in the way of the event.
Well, and the other thing we can do is we've tried to save blanks. Like, so we do have like a couple of them. We need to start to organize some of our materials, because so we don't have to put like a salad in the jar. We can just fill in the date and time.
Right.
And it'll be helpful for the team moving forward. Yeah.
And then the last thing was when Christine Averill was talking, and this is kind of like what Buffy already touched on, about you do not need to climb the whole staircase to change your life. It takes one step upwards and onwards.
Yeah.
And that is so true, because a lot of times we get so overwhelmed with, like we're watching our fearless leader up there on stage making her NMD speech, and you think, oh my God, how am I going to get there? And we can't psych ourselves out. I think we do that, and we can't do that. And I say to myself every single day, be consistent, be persistent.
Nice.
Whether just keep going forward, just keep going, and
Just keep taking steps every day.
And I've heard you say, eventually the momentum is going to carry you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we got to just keep going and going and going to create the momentum.
And the faster you work, the more you do in a shorter amount of time, the quicker the momentum will get there. So like if you give yourself a time frame, like that's why I gave us this like end of year push, because if we can do this now, we can roll into January, which is automatically a big month, the biggest month of the company, to like lead right into that. All the seeds that we're planting right now over the next, 80 days, we called it, that's going to just pay out in January. But if you start January 15th, you're going to have a hard time catching up to that. You see my point? So it's all about like starting it now and getting that wheel going again. Yeah, it brings up a really good point. Thank you, Marie.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What, Danielle?
That was my post today, Marie. That slide.
I didn't even see it. Oh, cool.
Yep.
All right. So Danielle, can you wrap us up here? I know you had some content stuff and some interesting, exciting stuff about how much money they're going to be paying us. It's awesome. It was right in line with what we had planned. It's like
I know. And okay, so there's a bunch of things that I wanted to go over. Okay, so the first, I will quickly you heard Melissa mention sort of like a new program, if you will, or Rena, who mentioned it? Someone mentioned it. So what is really exciting, what's going to be rolled out is, how we've had all these other programs, right? There's Juice Plus and the Tower Garden, and we've got our products, but then there's Transform 30, there's Shred 10, there's Healthy Living Rules. Mm-hmm. There's all these different things, and kind of people just don't know where to go. So what the company has done is they're pulling everything together in a really nice, awesome way for us. And they're going to roll out a new website, which is called Healthy Living Revolution, healthylivingrevolution.com. And so this is our new campaign, if you will, so that's why you've probably already seen some hashtags, Healthy Living Revolution and hashtag Take Healthy Back. Mm-hmm. Those are the two hashtags. And what this website is going to be is basically a resource center and tools for our customers and prospects to go to. And it's not going to be like slam with Juice Plus. Like if somebody wants Juice Plus focused stuff and the research and the, all that, then they go to the Juice Plus website. Mm-hmm. But if they're looking for more of the community experience and recipes and tips and more of that overall healthy living, feel, this is where they would go. So it's going to be this one awesome website that we can all use. There's no more confusion. Those programs will be in there, but it all falls under this Healthy Living Revolution, Take Healthy Back umbrella. So we'll sort of like eliminate a lot of that confusion. And within that website too, it will be sort of inconspicuous, but a place where reps can, log in and sort of get a back end to get access to certain files and, private things that we might need to help us with our jobs better. So that's really exciting. So as soon as that gets rolled out, obviously we'll roll it out as soon as it's out. Yeah. Super exciting. But yeah, so that's why we've already seen some of those hashtags. So that's what we've been using. December launch. That's when it's supposed to come out. And, okay, so that was that one. And the other training that was kind of pretty impactful for me was, and I'm looking above because I have the notes on my computer screen, was Bree Burford and Peggy Rivera, who are on a team together. So Peggy is under Bree, and they are best friends. And they did a training on upline, downline, strengthening your team. And so I'm just going to run through some of my highlights of my notes. And some of you had the same notes, Michelle. So
I didn't copy.
But these were the things that were most pivotal to me. And it's that people need a hero, right? And that's what we can be for these people, whether it's our customers or our team members. Like, we have an opportunity to stand up and be their hero for whatever they need. Like, let's take that role, you know, like, and it's not that scary actually when you think about it. Like, I want to be somebody's hero. And I know, like, I've already started to like instill that in my kids. Like, I want them to be somebody's hero too. Like, that's pretty powerful. And we all have that in us. And like, there are people that need us. They need us to step up and show them the way so that they know what to do as well. Right. So that was pretty powerful. And I've heard them say this before on a call a while ago that they did for the Heat team. And I wrote it in my notes and I've always remembered it. And they've said it again up on stage: act like an NMD long before you are one. Yeah. And, you know, I said that in like the video, I think this morning in my live feed, like, any one of us are absolutely capable of becoming an NMD, right? You don't have to wait to be like, there's no like magic. Like, Melissa has been acting like an NMD before that actually happened. Any one of us, you just do the do, right? Just start acting like it. Don't wait for the title. Just do it. And, you know, and a lot of you already are, which is super awesome to see. A lot of you have really been sort of stepping into that space, which is really cool. And I encourage more of you to do it and to continue to do it.
Catherine has a term about it. She always says NMD in training, which I love that, because when I look at, you know, any other, you know, business model, if you have really good, like at the top level, you've got people that are mirroring, modeling, like working with apprenticeships, like that kind of stuff to learn from the best. So what I've always encouraged people to do is observe people, you know, that are in that spot and just take from them, like study them. Like I said to Terry Luongo, I said, I've been studying you for 9 years. And she laughed so hard. And I was like, no, seriously, like, I love when you speak, you know, and it's all those things. And I think that, you know, it's a compliment one to them, but it really does, they're going to give you more, you know, if you do that. So make those relationships, connect with people and ask them for help, because that's what we want for everybody. We want, you know, we're just lifting people up, right? That's the whole idea.
So, you know, for some of you that might be newer into the business too, and you're like, well, I don't even know who NMDs are, who are NMDs other than like, right, like what's on our immediate team. Well, a good way to learn who a lot of these NMDs are to go to events. And that's something else that they talked about, is plug into events, even if you have to go alone. And like, I think I'm the perfect example. I can't tell you how many events I've gone to alone, but you just get there. And that is where you see who these NMDs are. You know why? Because they're up on stage. They're the ones training you, and you learn from them, and it's invaluable. It really is. So, so they talked about that. It starts with you, right? Who else said that tonight, right? It starts with you. I think Buffy, you know, you just make a decision and you do it. I mean, this is your life. This is your business. So, right? Just make a decision and go for it. Okay, I'm going to skim over that. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, but they also mentioned, and this is something that I, even just being on the trip to talk to my own team about, listen, like, you know, what are your dreams and your goals for the future? And I think that's something that personally I know I want to get better at with my own team, and sitting down and asking you guys, like, what are your goals and your plans for the future, and sort of helping you figure out how to get there, right? And get there together. Because I think it's important. If you don't even have goals to begin with, well, what are you working towards, right? So sometimes we all need to like take a step back and figure that out. And setting the pace for your team, right? So you need to be the one to kind of do the do. And if you're not doing it, you can't expect your team to do it. And I know I figured that out. I remember, I think when I was around the time when I was a sales coordinator, and I realized, yes, I want to keep going and go further. And well, if I want to keep going further and I want my team to go further, I better start getting my butt in gear and doing more, right? And not sit on my butt. And so that leads into events. And again, this was kind of covered in other trainings, but don't get caught up in the details. You just do them. And little Miss Lisa on this call has been doing an excellent job with that. She's just pumping out events. We've got one tomorrow morning. Right.
And I'm trying not to think about them, because
No.
I still have to go wash jars and wash lettuce.
Right? But it doesn't have to be perfect. You just do it. And that's exactly what she's doing. And they said, you know, when you have a distributor or a new distributor, right, you model it for them and you go there and do them with them, right? And that's exactly what we've been doing together. And okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, be consistent and be in constant connection with your upline and your downline. And I love this, and I'm going to mention it because Voxer comes up all the time for people, and some people hate it and get annoyed with it and blah, blah, blah. And Bree put it in the perfect perspective. And she said, you know, listen, you got to use Voxer to connect with your team and your groups and put groups together and what have you. And when she hears that Voxer ding go off, it doesn't annoy her. It doesn't bother her. She's like, cha-ching, money going in the bank, cha-ching. Every time I hear that Voxer ding, someone's working, someone has a question, someone's doing something, cha-ching. All that means is it's going to equate to more money. So hello, let's put a positive spin on that. Don't be annoyed with it. I love that. Okay, and listen, you don't get what you want, you get what you schedule.
Yeah.
Right? Your calendar reflects your business and where you want to go. So if it's not on your calendar, it's not happening, right? If it's not happening, you're not doing anything.
Right.
Where are you going to go? Okay. That's that. Trust your upline. And start when you're starting up a rep too. They said, you know, they ask these questions. Will you trust me? Will you trust the process? And will you be teachable? I love that. Okay. So that was that. And then what's super exciting, and I'm going to try and do a share screen, but I did post these just before the call onto our Team Honeybees page. And what the company is rolling out right now, it's starting, is, how do I do this? This is, oh, that's what I want to show. Okay. There we go. Can you see this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So we've got a better than ever incentive, right? So it's already started October till close of December business. And they're increasing the amount of bonus money you're getting when you fast track to your 2000 plus or you fast track to your sales coordinator. So nothing is changing in how you fast track. It's the same rules as fast tracking to a VF, and it's the same rules as fast tracking to a sales coordinator, but they're increasing the amount of bonus money. So for your 2000 plus, instead of getting $250, you now get $300. And your sponsor also gets $300. That's really cool. When you fast track to sales coordinator, instead of getting $500 each, you now get $750 each. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So that flyer's up there. So everyone can go on to the team page and not just look at it, but print that crap out and put it in front of your face and figure out, are you going to promote to a VF? Are you going to promote to a sales coordinator? Are you going to promote multiple VFs under you and sales coordinators under you? And how much bonus money do you want to earn for yourself and for your team before the end of the year? Christmas money.
Totally. I mean, do you see how this is all falling in line, you guys, with what we already had going on? I love that.
Yeah.
I'm going to print this out.
Super cool.
The one you have is looking a little different. I'm looking at it right now on the Facebook page.
There's two.
There's two? Okay.
Then there's this, which is just worded. Do you see this one?
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah.
This reads it out. So there's two.
Okay.
Okay.
Any complaints about that? About making more money before the end of the year?
No. Is everyone okay with that?
If you sponsor people and they do this, you get more money too. Like that's what I mean, it's just awesome. And then we have our Christmas cash, right? Which we can put up again if you want me to, Danielle, before we close.
Okay.
You guys need a refresher of that, or do you have more? Am I cutting you off?
No, those were my things. I mean, Katie Schloss was pretty Schloss, yeah. Schloss was good, but she kind of covered some other things that it was kind of a little redundant. It was events, it was stay in line, stay focused, you know. She's just a cutie. I don't know where my notes are.
She's really cool.
Yeah. Big events. People find excuses not to go to big events, but you have to find a reason to go. Right?
There we go. Yep.
Take action, stay the course, and your support will come. And your calendar reflects your principles.
Calendar. It's all about the calendar. There you go. All right. So just a reminder, you guys. So this month counts for everybody that gets PB qualified. So if you have a qualified business, your name goes in the hat one time this month. If you have a customer qualified business at the end of the month, be looking for this, then your name goes in 2 times. And if you teach a frontline to qualify their business, it goes in 3 times. So you see the importance of duplication here, right? There's 3 times the amount of entries. So you can get 4 entries. Shoot, you can get 5 entries into the hat to win if you have a customer qualified business and you teach a frontline to qualify. So, and that's every month as we go into the end of the year, and then we'll raffle off right before Christmas. So we're trying to pay you as much as we possibly can because, you know, it makes it fun. It gets you focused, right? And the more activity we do, the more compact that calendar is, then the more fun we have and the bigger your paycheck's going to be. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody have any questions that didn't come, or anybody that's here that of something you heard tonight you want clarification on? It's all about you. I know it's late, but.
Linda here. I just wanted to also say that there were a lot of really inspirational speakers, not just about how you go about building your business, but people like Jason Fowler, who was a paraplegic Ironman champ. He was awesome.
Yeah.
And it was just very, very, even Jeff, I mean, he's been to a couple conferences, but this one just blew him away.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that, you know, if you ever have a chance, Anaheim's a great place to go. Bring your spouse along if you have a spouse or a partner, and they can get the vision too.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge point. And your kids, I mean, your kids get to see what you're a part of. They start to value the work that you're doing, and they really get to have pride in what they do, you know, and what you do. I mean, the kids wanted to get an arch, like a little snow globe with an arch in it, so they could bring it back to their class and do show and tell them what they did all week. I mean, it was like so cool, you know, like there's so much pride that comes along with watching mommy and daddy win, you know, and perform and do great things. I mean, that's a memory they'll have for the rest of their life. So yeah, it is a family experience. And the sooner we start to, and I'll tell you what, when your husband sees you up on stage, it changes everything. It really does. It changes their whole tune. I have passed along a great message, live video today to Danielle from one of our friends, you know, Sherry Stabile. I think has she come on she hasn't come on our call yet, but she just made NMD and did not give her speech here. She's going to do it in Anaheim, but her husband made this great video of, like, he said, you know, I'll try to see if I can share it to the team page, but he talked about support, you know, and he thought he was supporting, but he wasn't really supporting until now he realizes what that support should look like. And it changed everything. So it might be just a good thing for us to have in our archives, but you know, it's something shifts. It really does. It changes everything. So with that, then, you guys, thanks, Mom. I, you know, just want to thank you all again. It was awesome. Thanks for staying on tonight late. We are rolling out a team contest that's going to be from now until Anaheim. We're getting all the details tomorrow. I'm going to put together a slick. We're going to keep it really simple in terms of reporting, so new people don't freak out, and I won't freak out because that was my one stipulation. I'm like, I do not like reporting. So it takes way too much time. But what we're going to do is use our 1225 sheet. And we're just going to use that as our consistent. So as you're writing in your trios, or you could really start putting any orders that go in there, put the date next to it. And starting October 1st, that will fill up, and you're going to get paid $25 for every 5 customers you get in that month. Okay? It's a big deal. If you get, like Chrisanne, you've got 16 customers in this month, you just earned $75. So... So if you get another 4, you get $100 just for that. But I can't even tell you how much you've made just from the customers you just put in. You know what I mean? It's like 500 at least. So seriously, like, I mean, think of it in those terms. It's a pretty awesome step. So just be doing that, keeping track of the customers. If you've already started this month, and a bunch of us have our customers already, put them in there now to make it easy for us. And then we'll just, at the end of it, you'll be able to take a picture of it, snap it to me, and then we can just fill in, you know, how much we have to pay everybody, and there'll be more
extra cash that's coming our way that you're eligible for. It's
cash everywhere.
These extra cash opportunities.
Everybody should be able to make an extra $2,000 seriously between now and Christmas. There is absolutely no reason why that can't happen. Like, I'm not kidding. Easy money. So all we need to do is just roll up our sleeves, fill that calendar, and get to work, you know? Mm-hmm. So the last thing is, I'm going to put together, like I said, that Zoom call, and I will put out some parameters around that so you guys can start inviting if you want to use that little incentive to post tomorrow, you're welcome to. All right. With that, we will end the meeting and the recording.